It's been so long.
It has.
Good morning,
Is it possible that voice gets creepier every week? I think so. Charlie, you tweeted as a guy that supports the sports. Is it time to not have the Olympics yet?
Yeah.
I hate this. Right, this is a U.S. women's gymnastics team alternate has tested positive for COVID. So the games are set to begin Friday. A state of emergency is enforced in Tokyo, right? Which means all venues will be without fans. With the new cases rising in the capital, what do you think, Charlie?
I look. As far as I'm concerned, if you can't have fans, you can't have the Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how the athletes feel, although I suspect that more than a few of them are, don't want to, they don't want to appear in what's essentially a TV studio.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
An overpriced giant TV studio.
There is a little bit of breaking news about that this morning. The Olympics chief has just said that he doesn't rule out the Tokyo Games getting canceled.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
And
Yeah,
Charlie,
I mean, he'd be foolish not to. He'd been foolish to rule it out. I mean,
Charlie, and as someone that's covered sports, I mean, I totally get that these kids train all their lives, and this is heartbreaking for us to just go, oh, no Olympics, sorry. They've trained for years and years, but I don't know how much more we can say. When Sean Hannity says this is serious, the Delta variant, and you should get vaccinated. I mean, and right now they didn't say if Olympic champion Simone Biles or any of the other favorites to win the gold were isolated because of contact tracing. The positive test, the latest in a growing line of daily reports of athletes and others testing positive at the pandemic delayed Olympics. So this was the first American, right?
yeah. The Red Sox lost a game against the Yankees last week because 6 of the Yankees tested positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably picked it up at the All-Star game.
Yeah. I love for you, this was a really chirpy tweet. You just said, today's a great day to get vaccinated.
Yes, it isn't it?
Maybe like people that just
Even
forgot.
though I'm looking outside my window, and we are now covered with the haze from the wildfires in Oregon.
Yeah.
Aye.
Gotten this far.
And you fixated on Twitter on the same things I did. Giant goldfish and speed freak trout. Oh, come on.
Really? I mean, nature is just completely frosted at us right now.
What did somebody say about one of these stories? They're like, you might want to be close to nature. Nature does not want to be close to you.
Right.
Not anymore. No, nature doesn't like us anymore.
Yeah.
We've stepped on nature's last nerve.
Yes. So, Charlie, I'm wearing my Justice shirt in honor of your piece. This sentence probably isn't satisfactory to anyone who was trapped in the Capitol. In fact, it's not satisfactory to those of us who watched it on TV. You said, I know there's probably a lot of perfectly good legal reasons why the first guy convicted of participating in the Capitol insurrection got 8 months in jail rather than the 18 months the DOJ requested, which also seems a pretty light bid for trying to overthrow the government. Somebody said it's amazing the amount of things you can get a harsher sentence than for trying to overthrow the government of the United States.
Oh, yeah. You start ticking that off, and you go mad. I mean, there's a guy down in Texas who's in jail for 10 years because he thought he was voting properly, and it turned out he wasn't.
Yeah.
There's a guy trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. Well, you just tweeted, I don't know what the hell Attorney General Merrick Garland is doing with regard to the muck and mire that was the previous administration, but you said right now it looks like the answer is nothing.
Yeah, but you got to take a look at that story.
Right.
The story, that
Right. We already
posted-
corrected the Wilbur Ross story, but
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, right. I'm
I'll
not,
see
but
you
it,
guys later.
what'd you say? What'd you say?
I said he'll see us later.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but I think in general, Charlie, and you've said this for years, since Iran-Contra, you said, for years I've been covering politics, there's been no more pernicious phenomenon in the idea of looking forward, not back, declining to investigate, if necessary, prosecute officials from the previous administration for crimes they committed in office. And here's exactly what I said, Charlie. You said the hell of it is, this has set up a dynamic by which actual Republican crimes were not pursued, while fake crimes attended by phony outrage became the GOP's go-to playbook ever since Bill Clinton was elected in 92. That's what I was saying, Charlie. There's no there in the Benghazi, Hillary emails.
33 congressional hearings into Benghazi.
Yeah.
4 special prosecutors into a failed land deal in Arkansas.
Yep.
But this is the two sets of rules how come we go, yes, Republicans pursue any phony thing for retribution and vengeance and partisan whatever, and then Democrats, we don't prosecute when they are justified crimes, right?
Well, so far, we'll see.
Right.
I mean, I'm sort of with your buddy Glenn Kirshner on this. I mean, I can understand what Glenn says, which is basically you start squeezing from the outside in.
Right.
And maybe this Hodgkins guy...
Until you get to the bloated meth-addled trout at the top.
8 months in prison is not a cakewalk, okay? I don't mean to minimize that.
That is true.
True.
So I don't mean to minimize that. And I think, if he's vulnerable to, having his sentence reduced based on giving up more serious insurrectionists, then fine, then it works for me.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I want to see that.
Let me let you listen to Ruben Gallejo.
Gallegos.
Pardon?
Gallegos.
Gallegos.
Oh, okay.
You're the one that took Spanish. I took French.
Si. Oui. Okay. Si and oui. Okay, here he is.
Donald Trump is a very dumb man. He could not have done this on his own. But the fact is there were active people that were really smart about, operating the levels of government that put him in this position that almost attempted a coup. So we can't just rely on the military. We also have to make sure that we have civil society and civil servants that are actually going to protect the Constitution. And when they don't, there should be consequences. We shouldn't just invite them back into society as if nothing happened.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to get to the giant, monstrous-sized goldfish, meth-addled trout at the top of this food chain?
Right.
Probably.
I mean, there's, I think, in situations like this, I think the Amish have the right idea. I think these people should be shunned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No contact. I think the Amish have a terrific idea with that.
Yeah. So what's going to happen with this commission? Of course, Kevin McCarthy announced his Trump-approved appointments to the... And three, that should absolutely be a no. I mean, we know Pelosi apparently has veto power. You cannot allow 3 people on there that voted against certifying the vote. I don't feel like enough is being made of that story, that they voted to overthrow this election based on nothing.
If Pelosi does that, if she vetoes Jim Jordan, which I hope she does,
right?
If not, I want him sitting next to Liz Cheney.
Yes.
Yes.
So she can smack him a few times.
Oh, that'll be like Kong. Kong
Two
versus Godzilla.
acid dip spitballs at him.
Kong versus Godzilla.
I just want I want them to find another crazy person. I'm just sick of Jim Jordan's act.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Surely there must be another crazy person they can put on there.
Well, here, Jim Banks is wasted no time. He was one of the people who blaming Nancy Pelosi. He attacked Pelosi for not doing enough to secure the Capitol from attack. So as soon as he was, Kevin McCarthy appoints him, he immediately says this is Pelosi's fault. I mean, you can't have people.
Well, no, not only that, but he said we're going to get into issues that the Democrats and the media don't seem to want to investigate. Oh, Lord, that's so promising.
Listen, I am with you. I will say okay to Jim Jordan if slapping is involved by Liz Cheney. If slapping is allowed, and her saying you did this again, then I'm for it.
Yeah, I think dropping F-bombs on the panel will really be helpful. I just, I think if Pelosi does that, she's going to set off a Category 5 dung storm.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll go crazy.
Yeah.
If she vetoes any of these people.
They go crazy for everything.
Well,
critical race theory, what you name it.
Right? Yeah, no, I understand that. But if you want to get this commission off the ground,
right,
you may have to swallow these 5 guys. Right. Because otherwise there'll be an incredible burst of outrage and the commission will never get started.
Yeah. And it will be the
only... You've got to rely on, the people on the Democratic side being smart enough and strong enough to keep these, the 5 clowns in line.
And if Pelosi vetoes it, that's the only thing that conservative media will talk about. And it will suck all the oxygen in the media.
You can there's a lot of Republicans, not ones that voted to overthrow the government, not ones that voted.
There aren't a lot who didn't vote. There aren't a lot who voted to certify,
We can't create this new normal. It's just you can't vote to not certify what has been certified by all this. Okay. Well,
but there aren't many Republicans you can put on that commission if that's your criteria. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many Republicans voted to certify the election in the House?
Travis,
you remember? I don't remember.
Ask Mr. Google how many Republicans voted to certify, how many voted against. Let's listen to Jerry Conley in the meantime. Jerry Conley of Virginia.
I felt that we needed a presidential commission, as we have had in really dire moments in our past history as a country to elevate the issue and to try to take it out of charges of partisanship. But what is more important than what kind of commission is that, in fact, we get at the truth in a formal, structured way. And Speaker Pelosi has done that.
Charlie, we just have no shared ground anymore, do we? On a medical miracle that will save your life? Nope, that's partisan. On a terrorist attack on our Capitol? Nope. There just seems no common ground, does there?
No, I mean, this is the goddamn of the two-party system. Mm-hmm. What do you do if you only have two major political parties and one of them is insane?
Yeah. Travis Bone has your answer.
147 Republicans voted against.
Okay, so they got enough people they could put.
Certifying.
No, 147 voted against it.
Against certifying the election.
Okay, and how many voted for certifying?
I don't know.
How many are in the caucus? So what's left.
Well,
over.
Rain Woman, get on it. You're good with numbers.
435.
You don't to the decimal point how much you weigh this morning. Don't tell me you don't know how many Republicans.
Hang on a second.
Voted.
He's Googling.
All right, he's Googling. Well, anyway, Charlie, we just can't make it.
It's 435 congressmen, and the Democrats have a 5-vote majority.
Right.
So,
all right.
Definitely got to go now. Wapner now.
Now
but
we're going to do a little standard.
64 Republicans.
Okay, 64 people. There's plenty of people. There's plenty of people to choose from
that
did not vote to overthrow the government of the United States.
Plenty to choose from.
Okay.